day one of trying to get this 2F in the 6B started. So as you can see, obviously there's a brand new starter in there. I have already tried starting it. The starter is fucked, so I've ordered parts, but pretty much I'm going to show you how you test start a starter to see if it's fucked or if it's good. Specifically the 2F model starter motor. So let's get into it. I've got the starter hooked up to a jumper pack for demonstration. I haven't got jumper leads to show you, but pretty much pretend these instead of jumper leads. You gotta earth your starter out. That's the key thing. Put your power from a good battery onto that little terminal that you pull off of this 2F starter. And then you got this little sensor connector here. Now this supplies power to it. This bit of wire here will send a signal voltage to send here to pretty much tell it to start pretty much. So you have to bridge from a positive terminal on that little plug there and that little plug there. And if it was working, it would kick over, but obviously not working. Now that will test if it goes out from your throw that throws it out. If you want to test if it spins, if you're trying to diagnose it from memory, you got this one here. Put your power onto that end and put your negative on the starter. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. And then same thing again. Good bridge your two terminals. Shut up. There we go. Good bridge these two terminals. Very much. Well, there you go. Bridge. So that's how it go. But this one is fucked, so I'm going to show you how you test the starter to actually diagnose what's wrong with it, in case you're ever wondering. So I'm going to get some tools. Now, in case you don't know how to take it off, it's pretty simple. You've got a nut up at the top here and then on the bottom. Oh, sorry, nut up here, and you got a bolt on the bottom that holds the starter on. Also, make sure you disconnect your electrical plug and your battery positive wire as well. And to remove it, you just need a 17mm spanner, socket, wrench, whatever, to get off to size 17. So as you can see now, I've got those bolts on screws and nuts, sorry. So this will come off. These two screws here, you just take them off for now. Now, as you can see that little contact here, which I will explain a bit better in a sec. But now the next job is get yourself a 10mm wrench or socket, and then crack off and take these two bad boys off. Rightio, now that I've got this off, pretty much you gotta pull it off here. I don't know, shake it. You might need to get a hammer and tap the side here to kind of break it off. But as you can see, it starts coming apart like so. Now, next job also as well, which I forgot to do before we pull that off, make sure you remove this. I believe this is a 12mm bolt. So, sorry, not bolt, nut, sorry. I'll just take that off right there. Now, from memory, you got your stator coil here. Now, I've already, as you see, this is pretty shiny. I tried to pull it apart before and get it started. Obviously, it didn't work. Yeah, so one thing, if it's not working, have a look how your coppers and shit look. If it looks black and oxidized, give it a real good clean with like some very fine sandpaper. Just give it a good sand and see if it works pretty much. So clean these contacts, and also make sure these little grooves here, you get a good clean out too, the little gaps between it. Okay, sorry about the light. There's little gaps between it, and get them cleaned. Another thing you can try to clean as well, this part here is going to be a little hard. So I'm not that hard. There we go. In here you've got those little pads that this part here rolls around like so. These probably might need a good cleaner as well to deal into bare metal pretty much. Now I'll show you in a sec. Also, corrosion you want to look for. Obviously this is pretty far corroded as well. to look for really any damage pretty much. I'm going to show you now in a few seconds how to properly test one of these things. And then if you want to go part further, which I'll not really much more important down there, it's just a few gears, is this thing here. Whoa! Fucking annoying little bugger. Give these little pads here a good clean. So as this gets magnetized, it pretty much goes down there and contacts this to bridge to give it power, pretty much. So I'll get the manual and I'll show you how you test this thing. Rightio. So here we go. I got the manual out. Right now, this is a original Toyota 2F repair manual. Yeah, these are pretty good. They're hard to get by these days, but yeah. So obviously, if you can pause this video, if you feel free to have a look. So pretty much this is your wire diagram nearly for it all. Pretty much, this here gives you a really good picture of it being pulled apart. So as you can see, I've got it wrong before. The amateur there, the amateur right there. You've got your yoke and brush holder right there. And you see all your bits and parts pretty much right here. So you feel free to pause it, take pictures if you want. Doesn't bother me too much. This is a pretty much a simple pull apart repair manual. Pretty much. This one doesn't bother me too much. It's pretty much just your fucking little ring gear that goes out and engages in the firewheel. Now, inspection repair. This is where you can start looking at it now. Obviously, inspect your bearings and stuff. Inspect geometry shaft and drive housing, bushes, the end bushing for wear and damage. That I haven't figured out yet because it doesn't have oil limit clearance, so I don't get that. But either way, repair your bushes, which probably doesn't need to be done anyway because mine's fucked in here. But yes, for your basic repairs, inspect the following items and repair and replace: dirty, burnt surfaces corroded by my bad English. Correct by sandpaper or lathe if necessary. So what I've done pretty much here recommends 400 grit sandpaper, which I've obviously done and given these good bad boys a clean. Now, I don't have a dial indicator or the sands to test it, but you can also test the run out on it. So if you do want to test the run out on it, running limit is 4 mil, standard is 5, if you are wondering. Now, this is another good one that I tested before. Wear, surface wear below reached. Amateur limit 31, standard 32. So you're pretty much measuring this here. So I'll get some vernier calipers and I'll show you. Now, as you can see, I've got the vernier calipers on it, and it's a bit of the tell. There we go. Reading just at probably like 19.9 mil. So it's a whole mil off the standard. Its limitations for it to work. Now, if we go over the next page, you also got measure your brush lengths. Now, if you want to know, your standard brush length should be about 19 mil, limit is your 13 mil. So, I'll get them out there for you. Now, I do apologise for the shitty camera angle. I'm working with a very ill-equipped tools for the job. Pretty much, just get this bugger lifted up. You can do it. And then try to push it off without it flying everywhere. But yeah, and then your brush should come out like so. Now you can see that looks pretty badly munted as well. So we'll measure that now. Now, what was the spec in? The spec is 13 mil. So we are gonna measure it. So standard is 13mm, which is about there. So obviously, see, it's worn down a fair bit since it's been used. It is down to just a bit over. I'll try to live out. Just a bit over 7mm. So with the 13mm, she's pretty far. She definitely needs replacing. So that's how you measure it. Now to get the thing back on, you'll have to pretty much put that in there. I don't know where that spring went. We pretty much put your spring on here and get it sit back over. It's pretty straightforward. But yeah. Now, that is one of the tests you can do. Now, obviously, if the connection is broken, you can solder it together, obviously, apparently. Well, I've never did it, so I don't know how it goes. Now, brush holder, check your insulation between negative brush holder and positive brush holder. Repair, replace terminals to whatever that English is, as indicated. Now, what more I guess is there should be no polarity, continuity between it, so we'll go check that out for you. Now, when you do this, get yourself a multimeter, like so. Just get a little cheapy, like so. Now, we're going to put this bad boy on the brush holder. Look. I'll put that there actually so you guys can see it, what the reading is. And we're going to put it on there. Obviously, I think it's only there we go, dump truck's gone out. It's obviously contacting on that part. Where is it actually contacting? There you go. So I don't think it should have continuity between there. From my understanding, I could be doing wrong. I'm probably interpreting wrong, but yeah. That is another test you can do. Now, obviously, if you have a ton of spares of these, which I don't, you could probably make one good one out of spare. But obviously, not really. Now, if you want to do this all, I can be bothered, but in case everyone does, feel free to pause the video and have a good old look. Now, here are the yellow ones now. This, fucking stator, whatever it is, coil, is a bit different to my coil, so I can't really test for that, but if you want to, feel free to, test it out if you want to. Pretty simple. Here's another diagram. Well, there's some more for you. Feel free to pause the video again as if you want to. I'll show you another important test that I did. Yeah, there's another one for you if you want to. Pretty much. Pull in and hold down test. So as you can see, they've got the wires there where you run your wires and shit if you wanted to have a look at that. One of the other interesting one that I did. I'll be back in a sec. Accidentally missed the page. Here we go. With your signal analysis, pretty much it's this end here it's talking about. You're only allowed 0.2 mil for height difference. Limit standard is 5 to 8. Now, I don't know about you, but mine are pretty flat. There ain't much left in that. So, yeah, they are fucked. It says here you can also use a hacksaw blade to get rid of the chips and stuff. There's another one. Center bearing clearances if you want to do that. Spec. you want to inspect further. This is another good one that I did. Testing your amateur coil, test around, check for continuity. Sounds a bit of fun. Communicator and amateur coil. If there is continuity, the amateur ground must be replaced. So yes, open circuit, check for continuity between segments. If there's no continuity at this point, there is an open circuit and the amateur needs to be replaced. So pretty much, each bad boy going. So amateur coil, you're gonna test that. So pretty much get your multimeter on the ohm setting, which I haven't showed you before. It's that little one there, those two little lines, almost like a speaker, pretty much, or like a Wi-Fi symbol on the side. Pretty much put that there, hold it there. I'll do a few things there, and then you go look for the coil. So by the looks of it, it is this one here. I think. Pretty much just go around and check them all, which I did, and they were all fine. Check for circuit test between these two as well. So as you see, there's continuity. So which is I'm sorry, let me read. A bit sensitive. If there is no continuity at any test point, there is an open circuit and needs replaced. So obviously they've all got. So sorry about that. I'm trying to not do camera things. Here we go. So you can see we've got continuity as well. This is all good, but it's obviously just worn down so much that it's pretty much non-fixable at this point, pretty much. So I've diagnosed it as these brushes are way too worn, and this thing's not getting good enough purchase as it needs. Another little test you can do is as well. Hang on, let me fix this. There we go, that's a bit better now. There, that looks a bit better now. Open circuit test. Check for continuity between the lead wires and field coil. Soldering connection. If there's no continuity, there's an open circuit. The field must be replaced. Check round between field coils and fields. If there's continuity, repair and replace. So we'll do that one. I'll just give you a little demonstration of it as well, of how to test it. So we are going to get using multimeter again, and then we're going to test between that little point there and these couple of wires here, which obviously they're all good and fine as well. Now, another thing as well, I've given this one a bit clean. If your terminals are very rusted, might help if you give them a light swing as well. That also helps out a lot. Next time we're testing the ground. So we're going to put one end on this end here, and then we're going to put it on the field frame, which obviously it is fine because there's no continuity, so we're good on that side. So what I have kind of done is as this is to fall on, as I said before, and these brushes are way too far gone, they need to be replaced. So yeah, that is pretty much how you check your basics for your starter motor. Now, I probably didn't do the best demonstration, but it is what it is. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to this YouTube thing. But also as well, give these a bit of a good clean as well is another thing. If you want to look out for, give these a good clean, make sure they're clean. I might pull this apart for you actually a bit further. Doesn't hurt pulling it more apart, but if I can get this part, I'll be back in a sec. Now, as I about that, you can pull this apart pretty much. there goes the bolts. You can check your bearings back here as well. Gear drive if you want to. You find that little ball bearing there. When you put it back together, that sits right in that hole there. So you can check all the gears, bearings, if you wanted to. But then have a look at all that. I would like to know how to pull this and this part furthermore, but soon to do that, you might have to cut this, unbolt this, and I don't know how far this goes. So yeah, pretty much that's it really, pulling apart. You know, actually, fuck it. We'll pull this apart further. I'll be back in a sec. As you can see, I've got these all loosened off, so it should be the case of. It's been a prick now, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Get that off. 1, 2. Obviously, it's bolt on, so you should be able to give it. There you go. Just give it a little bit of a tap, and then voila, these come off. Now, obviously, these are soldered to that, which to me, it's always kind of fucked. Actually, you can kind of pull it out without fucking that. Actually, it's not too bad. Now to get the rest apart, I don't know actually. That didn't do shit. Again, it's a communications board there. I don't know. I can't do that much more of it, to be honest now. I'm a bit of a standstill. Yeah, that's all I got for you. Sorry, but yeah. That's just the basic test on how to test your starter, pretty much. But yeah. Feel free to pause the video, look at the manual that I've got for the starter, and test some more. But yeah, have fun. Try to get your car on the road if you got a project car. There we go, truck's gone here finally. Enjoy your day and get your FJ or Land Cruiser or whatever project you want on the road. Yeah, that's how to test 2F starter mainly. Probably could apply to most starter motors, but mainly 2F starter.